From Jet 24, your weather authority, this is your forecast first.
Top of the hour, 6 o'clock, and weather looking pretty decent for this morning. Not seeing much precipitation. Looking nice there in the Edinburgh area for today. Storm tracker not showing any precip. We did have a little bit move through earlier this morning. Hasn't amounted to much, though. Just a coating on the ground for some of you. Temperature at the airport holding around 31. Wind chill 21 with still some brisk winds there. Highs reaching the mid-30s later today. A little more sunshine for the afternoon after we get rid of some of these morning flurries. Rest of the forecast after morning headlines. Good Morning Erie starts now.
From your news leader.
It's Wednesday morning, and Erie police are looking for answers after a man checks himself into UPMC Hammett with a gunshot wound. Plus, a Jamestown church is torn down after fire rips through the building the day after Christmas. And a local athlete appears on a different national stage ahead of his last college football game.
Live in high definition from your news leader. This is Jet 24 Good Morning Erie.
Good morning, Erie. It's Wednesday. James Conner and members of the University of Pittsburgh football team rang the bell to open the New York Stock Exchange.
Definitely a big deal for the athlete who will be entering the NFL draft in April. I mean, he's already a big star in the football gridiron, and he rings the bell at the hub of the financial world.
And today is his last college football game, so we're going to tell you all about him coming up. First, though, our top story today as police investigate a man entering UPMC Hammett with a gunshot wound. According to police, an 18-year-old man arrived at the ER just before 7 o'clock. He suffered one gunshot wound to the thigh. That injury is considered non-life-threatening. Police say the shooting may be accidental, but they are continuing to investigate. A man's officially charged after fleeing police and shooting himself in the chest. 38-year-old Lawrence Anderson remains hospitalized but is being guarded, according to police. He was arraigned Monday on charges of attempted criminal homicide and aggravated assault. Police say Anderson was lurking in the neighborhood of East 7th Street and Tacoma Road in Erie on December 23rd. When police arrived, he took off on foot, and while fleeing, he allegedly pulled a gun, tripped, and accidentally shot himself in the chest. Bond is set at $100,000. Now some news out of Chautauqua County. Jamestown, New York police are still searching for a Thanksgiving Day murder suspect. Captain Robert Samuelson says investigators have sent evidence to a lab for processing after 26-year-old Alan Burnett Jr. was shot and killed in his vehicle. The shooting happened in the 100 block of South Main Street after police say a party spilled out onto the streets. Two other men were also injured by the gunfire. Samuelson says it'll likely be a while before any light is shed on that case. And investigators in Jamestown are digging through rubble trying to figure out what sparked a fire inside an 80-year-old church. The church was torn down following that devastating blaze. Jess Dowdrick reports.
The First Church of God stood tall on Christmas Day. Now it's a pile of rubble, destroyed by fire. The cause, still a mystery.
The investigators have been diligently working on that since the fire was brought under control. They're still investigating that at this time, and no cause has been released.
Crews still working to put out hot spots 36 hours after the fire.
The structure was deemed to be unsafe by the city building inspector, so that was what caused the emergency demolition to take place.
Crews now covering the rubble with plastic until it's tested for asbestos. The congregation heartbroken.
Got married here, so we've been here for a long time. It's hard.
Reflecting back on the Christmas services held there just hours before the fire.
We had a wonderful service that night, and the pastor did ask us to be Mary and Joseph that night because my wife is pregnant.
This church has been a part of the Jamestown community for nearly 80 years, and now the future is uncertain for the churchgoers.
Right now we're going to go to our pastor's house. Wednesday we're starting to go there, and we're going to pray and see what God decides on our future.
Jess Dowdrick, Jet 24 Action News.
As another year winds down, the future of the Ridgefield School property is still up in the air. This morning we have continuing coverage. The Erie County Court of Common Pleas ordered Mill Creek supervisors to revise a plan that the building will only be used for purposes authorized in the zoning district. Montessori Regional Charter School wants to purchase the property to consolidate its two campuses into one.
Really or truly, our ears and our minds are wide open to working out, again, detail, or again, some kind of win-win. We only go to court as a last resort.
Mill Creek Township hopes changes to the zoning laws could allow for certain types of businesses to move in. Meantime, Mill Creek supervisors passed the final 2017 general fund budget, and it's still good news for township residents. Mill Creek supervisors unanimously passed the budget, which has no tax increase for residents as planned in the preliminary budget. Overall, the supervisors say the budget is positive.
One, there's no tax increase. Two, we covered our operating expenses with our operating revenues, and by design we kept the fund balance at least 20% of the operating revenues, so that we've got a nice reserve going into the future and hopefully keep tax increases down or non-existent.
The budget still doesn't include any gaming revenue based on the state Supreme Court ruling. That ruling's not been addressed by legislators yet. Fights break out in malls across the country, and now police are investigating the role social media may have played in those incidents. In all, dozens were arrested, most for disorderly conduct and resisting arrest. Thankfully, no serious injuries were reported. Here at the Mill Creek Mall, security is remaining vigilant, with more than 60,000 to 70,000 guests visiting the mall daily during the holidays. Mall representatives say they work proactively to protect guests throughout the year.
Take the appropriate steps, both in terms of human security and electronic security, to maintain a watchful eye over everything that's happening in the mall.
A spokesperson for the mall says security systems have been upgraded over the past year. Record warmth across the U.S. is now frozen in time as the typical eerie winter weather returns. Dave Belmondo joins us now live in our control room. Dave, I understand you have some tips for us to kind of not spend a fortune this winter.
And you know, I know it's hard, but yeah, we do have some tips. That cold weather is going to be returning, and well, we have some tips. We all want to stay warm, but we want to save as much as we can in doing so. So here's what you need to do, folks, to help endure those frigid winter days and nights. Experts from Consumer Energy Alliance compiled a list of easy energy saving tips. Here they are. Turn your thermostats back 10 to 15 degrees when you're asleep or away from the house. It's going to save you some money, about 10% in heating costs annually. Now, if you have south-facing windows, open those curtains during the afternoon. Allow that sunlight to naturally heat your home. Keep your fireplace damper closed when a fire is not burning, for all those with fireplaces. Use ceiling fans to circulate the warm air. Hot air rises. Put it on clockwise and bring that air back down in the room. And keep doors closed to rooms not in use. Now, if you have lost your gas service, or if you know of a house that is without gas service, there's a couple numbers to call. You can contact National Fuel Customer Service, 800-365-3234. Those hours are from 7 a.m. till 6 p.m. Or LIHEAP, that's the Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program hotline. Their number is 1-866-857-7095. Check out those numbers if you need some assistance. Use those tips. Could save you a couple bucks in heating costs this year. Tracy?
All right, great information. Thank you, Dave.
Yep.
Saying one Northeast man goes all out for the holidays is an understatement. This is the home of Donald Bova's parents. Bova spends days decorating the home with antique and vintage Christmas items he's collected over the last 40 years. Just on this tree alone, more than 1,000 ornaments, many from the 1930s to the 50s. Bova has one ornament dating back to the 1800s. Bova is also the owner of Northeast Restaurant. Inside, the antique collection continues there. Another tree with thousands of ornaments and other vintage decorations, too.
I am lucky that I get 2 or 3 weeks in the year to display it, where people aren't going to put their coins and stamps out for 2 or 3 weeks.
The outside of Bova's parents' home also is done in antique and vintage light-up decorations, and he says it takes some days to put everything up, but it's something he really enjoys. McDowell graduate and Pitt running back James Conner was among a select group ringing the opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange on Wall Street. Conner and the Panthers are in New York City to take on the Northwestern Wildcats this afternoon in the New Era Pinstripe Bowl. It'll be the final game in Conner's college career as he's decided to enter April's NFL draft. The game starts today at 2 o'clock from Yankee Stadium. Right now it's 6:10 a.m. Still ahead. Today's your chance to pay it forward in 2016. Last call here. And Lou Norman joins us in the studio for Tech Talk, so don't go away.
From your news leader, you're watching Tracy Tudo, meteorologist Tom DeVecchio, and Craig Smiley with sports. This is Jet 24 Good Morning Erie.